Welcome to another edition of the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's. Glad to have you with us. The old gang back together again. Big John Malkowski, St. John's Radio Network.
Hi, Norm.
And Mortgage Marty. Ben from Fairway Mortgage.
Yep.
Who's on fire today.
No,
he's on fire today.
I'm looking at what we're going to talk about, and I realize I'm depressed.
He's on fire. Why? Should not be
I don't see
depressed.
Cowboys listed here.
The Browns have their best start since 2004.
Did you the 100 and some and 5 and what 1 or whatever stat? The teams with +5 in the turnover margin. The Browns have 2 of the losses and the only tie. That's unprecedented.
When you're a bad team, that happens.
They're special.
That's one way to put it. Yes.
I was told not to crush on them or the Lions tonight by a large group of constituents, and it's going to be a struggle.
And you always do what you're told.
Never. All right, never mind.
So where's that lie in now? You know, before everybody gets excited about the Browns, they were given 6 turnovers and still didn't win the game.
And still only scored 21 points.
Unwatchable. That's what I would call that game.
Okay, and Norm and I were sitting at Ralphie's watching that game, and where is Baker Mayfield? You drafted this guy. Tyrod Taylor was 15 of 40 passing, and you still don't bring Baker Mayfield in.
He looked like he was throwing from center field where the goal is to one-hop the catcher, didn't he? I mean, I thought somebody taught him the baseball throw this offseason.
Their best offensive play was the Tyrod Taylor scramble for your life play.
Awful, unwatchable.
Yeah, and then he makes the one beautiful pass to Josh Gordon to tie the game.
Yeah.
And that was it.
It's a beautiful pass because Gordon caught it.
Remember, even a clock that doesn't work is correct twice daily.
I mean, nobody else on that team would have caught that ball.
Oh, no. Well, that's why you throw it to Josh Gordon.
And then you could go to the Sunday night debacle that was Matt Statfiller filling the stat for the Jets defense.
Wow. You know, I said it from the time he was drafted. He is not a top-level elite quarterback, period. Never has been, never will be. Good quarterback? Yeah.
Yeah. 26.5 million?
Top-level elite? No.
Well, he's getting 26.5 million. That's top-level elite money.
Well, I understand that.
Apparently, not having an offensive line doesn't help because they were also awful.
Well, Lions fans were very confident going into that game with Sam Darnold making his first start, and after the first pass, everybody was excited about it. Up 7-0.
My early text reminded me of when Ohio State played Florida in the national championship game, and Teddy Ginn ran the kickback, and then everyone went to cricket land. Right? It went from exuberance to crickets.
The only other person I've ever seen to try to attempt that pass that Darnell did on the first one was Scott Mitchell.
And that's not a name you want to be.
And the result was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a pass that you can complete in high school.
Right hash mark to left sidelines. No, not going to work.
It's a really,
but to his credit, he came back and played well.
Yep.
Did not cave in.
Moved his feet around a lot, kept his eyes downfield. Looked better than I thought he would.
I don't think you could pick apart the Lions' performance because I think they stunk in every facet of the game.
I hate to agree with you because it's not something I normally do, but you are absolutely correct. I did not think there was one takeaway there that you could find a positive in. What Golden Tate can still catch? Okay, that's...
Special teams, they gave up a punt return for a touchdown. They missed a chippy field goal.
Well, unless you don't like Jim Bob Cooter, that's about the only good news you could have.
Penalties, turnovers, can't tackle, can't block. You're at home. It's your home opener on Monday Night Football. You can't get geeked up for that?
Well, the Lions aren't used to playing on Monday night. I mean, they went years without having a Monday night game.
Against the Jets. You know how many people probably lost in their suicide pool by taking the Lions? That's why I didn't take the Lions. That's the one thing I did right this weekend. I took the Ravens. But you just got to hope that it's a blip on the radar.
That division is really tough. It's not a blip. The Vikings looked the Vikings defense looked every bit like they didn't miss a step, and their offense has improved dramatically. In fact, if they don't have a couple, if Dalvin Cook doesn't turn the ball over that one time, that game runs away pretty quick. The Bears look better. I mean, somebody somewhere is thinking they're lucky stars that Khalil Mack's there to wreck people, and assuming Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, there aren't a lot of wins in that division, and there are no gimmies this year.
And the bad news is you have the Bills, so you're not going to get the number 1 pick in the draft.
And you got spotted 7-0.
Yep.
Yeah, can we maybe agree that it's not the coach? That the issues are a lot deeper there than the coach? They keep changing. How many coaches now?
My sheet says Browns Lions, and there's one thing they have in common. Consistently bad management for an extended period of time.
Yeah,
I don't mean that to be insulting, but I just think it's a fact at this point.
I think it goes higher than the coach. It's,
right.
It's
the front office and the owner.
I mean, some teams are just bad ownership who cannot get things right, and these are two of them. And unfortunately, every Sunday we're just stuck with those two on TV.
$26.5 million. That's what Stafford's getting.
Yeah, but he's like not even top 5 now when paid in the league.
If you go back and you look at, but it's by fractions.
Well,
if you go back,
it's a lot of coin for a guy that doesn't get it done.
If you go back and look at his numbers when he was at Georgia, still didn't have a high completion percentage. His accuracy issues were prevalent in college. And it's the same thing. He'll look great at times. He'll be like that pitcher that finds it for a couple of starts and then in a key spot he'll throw it to somebody on the defense.
Well, did you read that the Jets said they had all their signals?
Yep. They said they knew every play.
How do you go into the next season with exactly the same calls where people have
with a new coach?
No, the offensive coordinator is the same, so that's
right.
I think that's the start of the problem. But how does that happen on opening? Okay, on week 12, when people have got 12 weeks of tape and you're having a hard time putting a new in with your backup quarterback, I can see that happening. But the rest of the time,
well, the Lions even said that in the preseason they only ran 20% of the playbook. So how do they have the rest of the playbook if you only ran 20% of it in the 4 games?
Because nothing changed from last year.
Who gets more wins? Browns, Lions.
Is death an option?
Well, you can always root for somebody else. All right, we gotta take a break.
Wait, Browns, Lions, Cowboys, or Raiders?
We'll get to that. That's coming up in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. It's the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
At Ralphie's, it's primetime football every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Enjoy endless wings starting at 8 p.m. each night and carry-out specials every day. Plus special pricing on all Labatt products, plus new craft and IPAs for the fall. As always, beer buckets only $10 Friday and Saturday.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Hey, Mortgage Marty here from Fairway Mortgage. New office is open at 5577 Monroe Street in the Promenade Shops. And those of you that watch know how competitive I am. So here's my challenge. The large national company you always see at every sporting event from up north who has that Rocket app that I hate. We have a competing app called the Fairway Now app. And the best part of the Fairway Now app is you get actually somebody local to help you after you use it. So log in, try it. It's on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find us, the Fairway Now app. Have a great night.
Red Wing Shoes, a quality built to last, just like the legacy of service at your Red Wing Shoes dealer, North Reynolds at Bancroft in Toledo. Family owned and operated since 1982. 4 generations, building a legacy of quality and service for years to come. Our sales staff has over 95 years selling and servicing Red Wing shoe products, and we have the largest selection of Red Wing shoes in Northwest Ohio. Irish Setter, Works, and our USA-made heritage shoes. In stock, no waiting. Red Wing Shoes, North Reynolds at Bancroft, where service, quality, and fit come first.
And back we are, the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's. And don't forget, there are all-you-can-eat wing specials at Ralphie's for the primetime NFL games Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Also have price appetizers after 9 o'clock at all your area Ralphie's. All right, NFL from week 1. I thought Aaron Rodgers' performance was a standout. When he got carted off, I didn't think he was coming back in.
I turned it off, went and did something else, and then my phone started blowing up, and I thought, he's not even playing. And I made a mistake.
We'll
Never turn the TV off when he's on the field.
Adrenaline is a good thing, and we'll see what happens this week. Because I mean, if his knee was as hurt as it looked like it, because he was playing on one leg,
Yeah.
and he said he didn't even realize he was only playing on one leg, but you could really tell. And
He was everything was wrist and off his back foot.
right. Yeah, he was putting no weight on that left leg.
Looked like a catcher throwing a ball.
First-year coaches went 0-7.
But this is why you pay franchise quarterbacks franchise quarterback money.
Keyword there being franchise quarterback
Well,
as opposed to
But now
mediocre, upper middle of the road quarterback.
But now it's become every quarterback. I mean, if your quarterback is good, you have to break the bank for him.
It's not even
I mean,
that.
you don't have to.
You don't
but-
have to.
well,
That's the issue.
You could have quarterback potential, Jimmy Garoppolo, and be paid franchise
Well, it's
money.
funny. I was going to get to that next.
Oh.
Can we take Garoppolo out of the Hall of Fame now, along with Deshaun Watson? You know, Watson was, you looked at all these fantasy football lists, he was in the top 5 in most of the lists when it came to quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, really? You know, can these guys play a full season as starters before we stick them in the Hall of Fame?
Jameis Winston. I don't know anybody in Tampa that's missing him right now. All right, go have some crab legs, and we'll see you next year.
That is actually a good question. If Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing this, does Jameis even get his job back in week 4?
No.
Would you?
They never
Well, no.
said that Winston was going to get his job back after week 3. I think he's 3 weeks he's suspended.
The problem
They
is
never-
I've seen
they
a
never
large body
promised
of
it.
work of the Ryan Fitzpatrick experiment, and I'm not sold that that's any sort of solution.
No,
I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he's a pretty good quarterback that's been on a lot of lousy teams.
he's a very good backup because he can come in and run an offense. I mean, that's what you want.
I'm not saying he's the guy you build your franchise around. That's not what I'm saying. But if you put him in the game, he'll do all right. He's not going to kill you.
Speaking, you brought up,
The bigger issue in this game is what happened in New Orleans defense. A lot of people had picked them not only to win the NFC, but also to win the Super Bowl.
and they look like they could not stop a cold, a slow leak, or any other. They were awful.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest changes always come from week 1 to week 2.
Right.
So, I mean, there's only so much you can do with a 53-man roster. I don't know
For a
how
lot of
much.
teams, they better hope so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of must-win games already because 0-2 is almost a death knell to the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of teams who thought they had a chance that are staring 0-2 in the face.
We're gonna separate the pretenders from the contenders pretty quick this year, the way it looks.
All right, out of our 3 favorite teams, his is the only one that won. Washington.
And Adrian Peterson shocked the heck out of
With the
me.
quarterback that he didn't want, Alex Smith.
By the way, I want to thank you for my Linus tweet. Just wait till next year. Like looking up at the Great Pumpkin, because that's how it feels to be a Cowboys fan, right? You're just wait till next year.
And I could tell everybody I did not get a tweet back.
I didn't.
Text.
I looked at it and shook my head and thought, yeah, I hate when he's right. And I really just didn't feel like poking the bear. I didn't feel like what was coming next. I thought, I'm just going to wallow in my sorrow all by myself.
Well, I thought, what was the kindest text that I could send without really rubbing it in?
It was enough.
It was just, there's always next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for the,
I almost texted it back to you halfway through the second half of the Raiders
But I
game.
figured you were sleeping by that point, so that's probably why I didn't go back.
No, I just thought because I know what's going to happen next.
Well, the first half they played well, but I still didn't think that they were the best team on the field at halftime, even though they had a 3-point lead.
yeah, the Rams, I mean, none of the Rams players played in preseason, so, I mean, the first half was like preseason, and once they got things rolling, there was no stopping them.
And they couldn't stop Gurley, so that's where it all started.
Yeah.
Right.
They could not stop him in the second half.
And apparently Derek Carr might not be a franchise quarterback.
His first interception, I don't think you can really blame on him.
Right.
The defender made a better play than the tight end did. I mean, the tight end didn't come out after the ball. I mean, he laid it up there, and that's what you do on that throw. Second one, by his own admission, was just a stupid throw. He said he didn't see the guy underneath. He went to lob it, and when he saw the guy underneath, he tried to pull it back, and it was too late, and it just floated out there. Third one was garbage time. So,
All right. Well, I'd like to thank him for costing me the game last night, because the combination of the Rams kicker and their defense.
but in that game in the second half, the Rams' offensive line and their defensive line took over.
Oh.
They won the battle of the trenches on both sides of the football in the second half, and that's what changed it.
Well, I mean, that team is stocked. I mean, the Rams are probably one of the most have the most players on any team in the NFL.
And I knew
that
they were.
defensive line is like old Pittsburgh Steeler defensive line good.
I knew the Raiders line was struggling because they got called for 4 holding penalties in the first half, and you're only doing that because you're losing a battle.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Donald's pretty good, and you put him with Ndamukong Suh and those other guys, and
They actually did a fairly good job on Aaron Donald. He did get a sack in the second half. They did a fairly good job, but the rest of them not really. So,
Do you think Gruden's rethinking the Khalil Mack decision after week 1?
well, we talked about it last week. What are you going to do? Are you going to give somebody a non-quarterback money when they're worth half a win? And you're gonna give.
He almost single-handedly decided the fate of the Packers' season, let alone a game. I understand.
Well, that's the half.
Still a loss.
that was the half a win.
Still a loss.
All right.
Well, who would you rather give that money to, Aaron Rodgers or Khalil Mack?
Did anything surprise you?
They wanted to keep him. He was under contract. He didn't show up. He didn't show up for any OTAs. He didn't show up for the preseason. He wasn't going to show up for the season. So what are you going to do?
All right. So aside from the Steelers turning the ball over 6 times, did anything else in week 1 surprise you? Of the teams, I think we covered the Saints. Anything else surprise you of the contender teams?
No, I'm going strong in my suicide pool. I took Baltimore. Again, why did the Bills get rid of McCarron? And I don't think Tyrod Taylor could play either, but he's still better than what they got now. Holy smokes.
And how bad does Josh Allen have to be that he's not trotting him? I mean, he must wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and have to give himself a pep talk to get up and go to work, because if you can't win that job, you must be really
he couldn't
bad.
hit receivers at Wyoming.
No.
I understand that.
Well, the funniest thing was Nathan Peterman had a lower quarterback rating this week than he did last year when he threw 5 interceptions and a half. This week we had a lower quarterback rating. That's bad.
That is bad. All right, we're going to take a look.
Unfathomable.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the games tomorrow and on Monday night when we come back. It's for a Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
At Ralphie's, it's primetime football every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Enjoy endless wings starting at 8 p.m. each night and carry-out specials every day. Plus special pricing on all Labatt products, plus new craft and IPAs for the fall. As always, beer buckets only $10 Friday and Saturday.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Hey, Mortgage Marty here from Fairway Mortgage. New office is open at 5577 Monroe Street in the Promenade Shops. And those of you that watch know how competitive I am, so here's my challenge. The large national company you always see at every sporting event from up north who has that Rocket app that I hate, we have a competing app called the Fairway Now app. And the best part of the Fairway Now app is you get actually somebody local to help you after you use it. So log in, try it. It's on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find us, the Fairway Now app. Have a great night.
Powerbomb Wrestling is back in action in Toledo on Sunday, September the 30th at 5 p.m. at St. Clements Hall, 2990 Tremainsville Road. The Bachelor, Ben Boone, and Unchained Brandon Day battle for the heavyweight title, this time for the amazing Nate Matson as special referee. You'll see a lumberjack match for the tag team titles. Also, the Midwest title and the women's title will be defended. Get your tickets now at pbwexcitement.com. It's the best wrestlers in the Midwest, Sunday, September the 30th. Welcome back for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's. Just so you know, Marty has only sabotaged the in-between segments.
That was
Well,
a
we're
great
off the air.
joke. I said the most fight out of Detroit last week was in the booth for the Tigers. That's truthful.
Wow. Back to the NFL. The games are loaded for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Absolutely loaded. The Thursday night game was, of course, Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Correct. If you missed it, just check the win-loss column.
Well, they were both 1-0.
Yeah, well,
It's an important division
Cincinnati
game.
shouldn't have been, except for getting a late turnover.
Come on.
It's the NFL, man.
I'm not the one derailing.
It's the NFL, man.
I'll take the under. Whatever their win-loss total is, I'll still take the under.
Cleveland. We were talking about the Saints in their upset loss at home against Tampa Bay. Yeah. Cleveland's got to go to New Orleans.
New Orleans defense will get a lot better next week or tomorrow.
That could be ugly. Could be ugly. Detroit's at San Francisco. Somebody's got to win.
Jimmy G and Matt Stafford, and two of the most overpaid quarterbacks. And,
Well, the good thing is, as much insulting of him as I've done in the last week and a half, he'll probably go for 450 and 7 touchdowns or something, and my phone will melt.
And lose.
No, they'll win that one, and then everybody, oh, the season's back, turn around.
Well, it usually rallies for 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter when they're down 3.
Right.
Hence the nickname.
I know.
Minnesota, Green Bay.
That's the how healthy is Aaron Rodgers question.
and how healthy will he be by tomorrow night?
Yeah, because if
He's gonna take a pounding.
you weren't feeling good, that's not a game to help you feel better.
No.
I'm still not sure if Cousins is on that elite level of quarterback.
Does not have to be.
But that's exactly where I was going there.
If there's a place for a game manager to be successful, Minnesota is on the top 3 list of game managers who can be successful at quarterback. The Rams can get away with game manager of Goff.
Kansas City is at Pittsburgh. That's another 1 o'clock.
Doesn't that almost feel like a must-win game for the Steelers?
Probably.
I mean, it's at home after last. And here's the weird thing to me. That could be drizzle, rain. That could be another mess of a week. And if it is, I just wonder what they do different.
Did you see that? The quarterback that's got the most wins in
Cleveland
Cleveland?
is Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
It's not a Cleveland quarterback.
At First Energy Stadium, yes.
It's not a Cleveland quarterback.
Ben has 11, nobody else has more.
Thought that was great.
Wait, my phone alarm went off. We've exceeded our Browns insult totals for one segment or one show.
Well, 4 o'clock, you got New England and Jacksonville. A rematch.
That's a good game, but New England always finds a way against a good defense.
Jacksonville's so offensively struggling.
Yep.
It's not going to change.
And without Marquise Lee, and we'll see if Fournette can play.
Yeah.
Because he went out of the game, too.
Yep.
And I think weather's a factor.
And if that game is not enough, and the Detroit game is not enough, Oakland and Denver is at 4 o'clock.
Ooh.
Wonder if there's tennis.
Oh, that was the last.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there might be other tennis. Maybe there's, I don't know.
That was Serena Williams.
Is it Shark Week?
I'm sure the Tigers are playing.
Yeah.
Watch all the mud hens who are now playing for the Tigers.
Well, I didn't mention it. Miami and the Jets are both 1-0.
All right, what else you got for me at 4 o'clock? Is there any other?
Is the Miami game from last week over yet?
Finally. No, there's 4 o'clock games. One's Detroit, one's Oakland. One's Arizona at the Rams.
Yeesh.
Okay, 0 for 3. What's the fourth choice?
Right, the 4th one's New England and Jacksonville. So
Okay, well,
There's
there you
the
go.
national game.
There's the game we're going to care about.
I'm not sure who has the doubleheader next week, but and by the way, the Browns will be on Fox.
Yes. Much to the chagrin of a lot of people
They'll be on CBS.
who don't know how to just check a guide and
I don't know if Fox has a doubleheader or not. Check your local listings. Well, because if they don't, they got the Lions at 4. So
We know it's not right here on NBC 24.
check your local listings, or come to Ralphie's,
There you go.
where they will have all the games, and I'll probably be there. Sunday night, Dallas hosting the mighty New York Giants.
That's an elimination game.
1-0 versus 0-1. No, 0-1 versus 0-1.
I'm saying it's an elimination game.
Yeah.
Week 2.
And it should be. Whoever loses that game should just be eliminated and forfeit the rest of the season, because that's...
You sure they can't re-sign Des Bryant?
Dez drives me crazy, and I'm looking at the tweets thinking, Yep. Yep, he's right. Because there was nothing and nobody. It was awful.
Are they that pressed against the camp?
Listen, for as long as Jerry's running the show, this is what to expect. That's what I tell myself when I get up in the morning now. Is Jerry still? Yeah, Jerry's still there. Okay.
Because I know
Jimmy's still gone? Yep,
against
Jimmy's still gone. Okay, well, cheer for the Buckeyes.
Jimmy's still gone.
Jerry's still here. Jimmy's still gone. Tune in on Saturday for Buckeye games. Avoid Sundays at all costs.
Are you saying it was more about Jimmy than it was Jerry?
I scoreboard. I think if you see, I think they have
been gone what 22 years now. And
well, since Jimmy's team left, I mean Barry snuck that one in there, and then they won a game or two after that year in the playoffs, and I think since then they've won 0 playoff.
Same number I have. Yes.
Yes.
Is there anybody after the first week you've really changed your opinion over?
Well, I want to see the Ravens play again. I mean,
somebody with a pulse?
Yeah, because they've never been an offensive juggernaut, and to put up 47. I mean, I know it's the Bills.
My opinion's not changed.
But Joe Flacco is still not an elite quarterback. But he is motivated, and now that they drafted Lamar Jackson, maybe motivation is what he needed.
My biggest question is whether that was the return to history Saints defense or whether the Saints defense has just had an anomaly. Because if it was an anomaly, I still think that team's to be feared. But if not, boy, this looks like so many years ago when, Breeze and the offense had to fling it all over the lot and whatever else.
Monday night, Seattle at Chicago. Both teams need a win.
That almost also feels like an elimination game in week 2.
That's Monday night. Monday night used to get all the best games. Now they just get junk. I mean, they've now moved it where Sunday night is the best.
Well, Thursday when they go to Fox, it's going to be pretty loaded.
Yeah.
If you looked ahead.
But Thursday night it's always garbage football because nobody's healthy. It's all. Everybody's still.
Can we agree that Thursday night stinks? It should be.
It's a money grab.
Let's call it what it is. Thursday night stinks.
It's a money grab.
If it went away tomorrow, we would all celebrate.
We're under 30 seconds. If you're doing a suicide poll, I'm guessing it's taking the Saints.
Rams.
Saints or the Rams?
Rams.
Yeah. One of the two.
I feel pretty safe with the Saints though too. So.
Yeah, Rams and Arizona.
All right, guys. Thanks, Marty. Big John. All right. Powerbomb Wrestling coming your way at 2 a.m. You can't catch it, DVR it. You can't do that. You can catch it on Fight.tv or on YouTube. You can also catch replays of this show on YouTube as well. Just put my name in the search box at YouTube and you'll find it. So we'll see you next time on the Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.